It's really important to be happy and have fun.
Being happy and smiling changes your whole persona and everything, doesn't it?
If you're happy, everybody else around you's happy.
I think it's just something that everybody wishes for, isn't it?
To be happy and fun, I'd say, is definitely my mantra in life.
It wouldn't be life if you wasn't them things.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Most of the children's lives before the trip are, they're all about hospitals. They're born, most of them, into a very adult medical world. They don't live a life surrounded by children doing the same things that they do.
I kept myself to myself, really, and buried my head in my schoolwork and books and things because I didn't have a social life. I didn't have anything that I wanted to get up for.
I just didn't have a life at all. There was girls and boys my age that were out playing and I couldn't do that. I had to watch from a side. So it was a lot of difficult times over the years.
Colby was in a car accident and he got run over, and it was quite an horrific car accident. He was in intensive care for 3.5 weeks and we nearly lost him, and the impact of that was devastating, really.
My condition is, the medical term is bronchiectasis. My body can't help itself to get better as quick as a normal person can. So it means I've got to take a load of tablets, I've got to have nebulizers, inhalers.
When you've got a child with special needs, it's really, really difficult. You know, you can't have an ordinary day where you just get up in the morning and be like everybody else, let's go here and let's go there, you know.
My daughter Sarah was 11 and finished primary school that summer with all her ambitions in front of her. And over the summer holidays, that's when our world then collapsed and we were diagnosed with cancer.
I had leukemia, got diagnosed with that when I was 15, Christmas Eve 2005. Christmas Eve I started my chemotherapy, very intense. I was very, very poorly. I'm very lucky to be here. I was on intensive care and a life support machine for 2 weeks. That was awful for the family to see. I had a massive seizure and almost died. They had to bring the cardiac arrest machine into that. It was very, very traumatic. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy for anybody to go through that. It was just horrible.
I felt elated when they told me that I was going on a trip to Florida.
Words could not describe how ecstatic I was.
I was on the swing saying, I've been chosen, I've been chosen. It made my life, not my day, it made my life.
So when I found out I was going with all other poorly children, it was even more amazing to be able to spend it with them.
It was my dream when I went to Florida to take my Mickey Mouse that I've had since I was 7 years old to meet the Mickey Mouse.
Meeting Winnie the Pooh. That's what I was most looking forward to.
I think when the children arrive on the trip, they're kind of a little bit shy, a little bit down. They don't know what to expect.
Before the trip, I was really I kept myself to myself. I didn't like going up to people and speaking to them because I had no confidence whatsoever.
Going through something like a severe disability can be very, very lonely and very solitary. You can't talk to your mum and your dad and the people around you that aren't going through it the same way that you can talk to other kids that have got similar problems. They understand what it's like to wake up in pain, and they understand what it's like to have to take medication all the time.
And then meeting all them other children that had all different illnesses to what I had, it was just amazing. It makes you appreciate life more.
We were just a bunch of kids having fun. We were no longer the kid with cerebral palsy or the kid with epilepsy or whatever other label the hospital or doctors or people at school wanted to stick on you. We were just ordinary, normal kids.
Then they suddenly blossom. And I will always describe it as they butterfly. They do. They change. And they just suddenly develop into this beautiful butterfly, and they've got full of confidence, their self-esteem, their self-worth. They become more confident in themselves.
Because she wore a prosthetic leg, when she was there, she didn't feel judged by anybody because everybody was in the same boat. I think just being free to be able to be a teenager and not being somebody with cancer and having, you know, this terrible illness over you, just being able to be herself.
Laura, oh, well, she was an amazing little girl. She'd had quite a tragic start to her life. She'd had a heart transplant. She was on numerous tablets, I think it was 47, just to keep her alive. And she just had no self-confidence. She was very down. She never raised a real smile. However, during the trip, that smile just appeared, and it was a beautiful smile. We were told that Nathan would never get out his wheelchair. He was saddled to that wheelchair, and that was it. And that's what we all expected. However, he just changed during the trip. You know, he kind of emerged from that wheelchair, and then he eventually sprung out of that wheelchair, and his confidence increased.
It's not just about the children going away, it actually gave us as a family time to spend together to cement what was falling apart, really, because it is really hard work to look after Molly. Even though we love her to pieces, you know, it really does put a strain on marriage and relationships. And I think just given that week to just be together and do things as a couple, which anyone else would take for granted.
These children come back. It's like as if they've been given a gift, and they suddenly find themselves, they feel valued, and the child comes out of them, and it's wonderful.
I honestly, when I first went, thought, oh, this is just a holiday, and at the end of this, however many days we're away for, I'll end up just coming home back to the same old hospital appointments and having no confidence and having no friends, and it wasn't like that at all.
It's definitely improved my life because it's made me more happier than I was before I went on it.
To see their child come back feeling confident and full of enthusiasm gives the families that feeling of their child developing and growing and moving forward in life.
When he came back, it was just his face. It was just like someone had switched a light on in him. And he was just so happy, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Destination Florida has helped me. I went to Destination Florida with my best friend who I was in hospital with, Kim. 2 years later, after Destination Florida, she sadly passed away. So it was amazing to spend the time with her as well, and it's made me appreciate a lot.
Having the ongoing connection with Destination Florida has been massive, and the most important part of that is the people that you meet, because the people that I've met are there for me even now.
It gives them aspirations. I think it gives them a desire to achieve and strive and move forward in their life.
Without having gone on the Destination Florida trip, I would have had the guts to move out into a house of my own and live independently.
I got told by teachers in school that I wouldn't do GCSEs. For the amount of a time that I had off in high school, I wouldn't do GCSEs, wouldn't do A-levels or go to uni. But the trip that week made me so confident and kind of like, I'll show you that I can do it. And I come back and I got 10 GCSEs, I got 3 A-levels, I passed my driving test when I was 18, I got onto my degree at university and I graduated last year and got a first class degree. And I never ever in my wildest dreams expected that to happen. But I say it is cliche, but I do solely focus that on being Destination Florida to give me that oomph that I needed to say, yeah, I can do it. And
Reese, my current boyfriend, was on the trip with me and we was inseparable. We spent a lot of time together whilst we were there and we're now in love. We love each other and hopefully you'll see first Destination Florida wedding.
When I came back from Destination Florida, I was still under the hospital, being checked every year. April, not last year, the year before, they told me I couldn't conceive children. That July I took a pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant. Last March I gave birth to this beautiful little girl, and life would not be the same without her now.
That was the big holiday and the holiday of a lifetime that she had in a short life, really, in her 16 years. She was just 16 when she died. So for those final 2 years, and a final year especially, she was extremely poorly, in and out of hospital. So to have that trip and that experience of a lifetime and a holiday was just wonderful. And it was fantastic for me as a parent as well, to know she'd had that, and that those people that looked after her and nurtured her through and gave her so much, so many memories, and such a special time for her to take with her, you know, until she died.
People should support Destination Florida because it really does change lives.
I've witnessed firsthand what effect it can have on different children, like the smiles it can put on their faces.
They are one of the best charities ever. They give children so much.
My trip was 8 years ago, but I'm still reaping the benefits of it today, and I think I'll be reaping the benefits from it for 20, 40, 60 odd years to come.
To see a smile on a child's face, and it's worthwhile just to see that.
Because when you're poorly, you don't believe in fun, and Destination Florida gives you all that.
People with illnesses love that charity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Don't worry.
Be happy. Don't worry. I see I don't even sound Jamaican at all in the slightest.